You've been told it's just part of getting older, that weaker erections, fading desire, and the quiet frustration you carry each morning are something you simply have to accept. But I'm here to tell you that belief is not only wrong, it's dangerously misleading. Because the truth is, many men over 60 are suffering in silence. Not because their bodies are broken, but because no one ever told them about one simple shift they can make each morning that reignites the systems responsible for strong, natural, lasting erections without pills, pumps, or embarrassment. My name is Dr. Moit Kara. I've spent over 3 decades in the field of men's health, working closely with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, helping them reclaim the energy, confidence, and intimacy they thought was gone forever. And what I'm about to share with you isn't theory. It's a morning formula that works every day. Your body gives you a small window to activate what I call the erection circuit. Most men miss it, but once you learn to tap into it, everything changes in this video. I'll reveal 3 powerful morning habits, plus a bonus tip that naturally reboot your testosterone, improve blood flow, and restore full firm erections. Choose even one, and your mornings and nights may never be the same. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you may be the most important routine you've never heard of before. We begin, if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss another video designed to help you feel stronger, healthier, and more confident every day. And if you find this helpful, just type 1 in the comments to let me know if, not type 0, your feedback helps me create better, more meaningful content for you. Now, before we get into the habits themselves, it's important you understand why your body may not be responding the way it used to. Because if we don't first uncover what's really going on beneath the surface inside your blood vessels, your hormones, your nervous system, then no habit, no routine, no remedy will ever stick. So let's take a look at what's truly happening inside your body after 60 and why it's not too late to turn things around. What's really happening inside your body? Let me take a moment to tell you something most doctors don't. The truth is, if you're over 60 and struggling with softer erections or inconsistent performance, the issue isn't just aging. It's what aging has done slowly and silently to the systems inside your body. And I say this not as a theory, but as someone who sat across from thousands of men, just like you, listening to the same quiet frustration in their voices, Doc. I still feel the desire, but my body isn't responding the way it used to. So what's really happening? As we age, several key systems that support healthy erections begin to shift testosterone. The hormone that drives male sexual health naturally starts to decline, dropping about 1% each year after 30. That may not sound like much, but over decades it adds up. Lower testosterone means less desire, weaker erections, and slower recovery. But hormones aren't the only story. There's also your circulation. Erections depend on healthy blood flow, and by the time most men hit their 60s, the tiny arteries leading to the penis, the ones responsible for filling the chambers with blood, have become stiffer, narrower, and less responsive. These changes are often invisible. You don't feel them happening, but one day you notice you're not waking up the way you used to, or it takes longer to get going, or maybe you're just not as firm as you once were. Add in years of stress, poor sleep, and declining nerve sensitivity, and what you're left with is a body that wants to perform, but isn't being given the right signals or support to make it happen. But here's the good news. These systems aren't broken, they're just neglected. And once you start triggering them again, gently, naturally, every morning, they begin to wake up. This is where the real transformation begins, because you don't need to fight your body. You just need to understand how to work with it. And it starts with one of the most overlooked yet powerful natural activators of testosterone and blood flow, something that rises in the sky each morning, just like you used to. Ready to hear what it is? Let's talk about the first habit that can begin turning everything around starting tomorrow morning And believe it or not, habit 1. One of the most powerful ways to jumpstart your body's natural erection response starts with something as simple as morning sunlight. I know that might sound surprising, but as a physician who's worked with men for over 3 decades, I can tell you with confidence what you expose your body to in the first 15 minutes of your day has the power to set the tone for your hormones, your energy, and even your circulation. Let me explain. Your body has a built-in clock, a circadian rhythm that governs everything from your sleep to your testosterone production. And that rhythm is controlled by light, specifically by natural light from the rising sun when you step outside in the morning and allow sunlight to hit your skin and enter your eyes. It sends a powerful signal to your brain. That signal wakes up your hypothalamus, which then activates the production of key hormones, including testosterone. The sun tells your body, it's time to turn on. And when you give your body that signal every morning, you're not only boosting testosterone, you're also triggering the release of nitric oxide, which is essential for relaxing blood vessels and allowing blood to flow freely, especially to the penis. I've had patients who told me they hadn't experienced a spontaneous morning erection in years. But once they started getting 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight each day, just walking outside with their coffee or standing by a window with the sun on their face, they noticed a shift within a week or 2. They were waking up with more firmness, more frequency, more life. It's not magic, it's biology, and most importantly, it's free. This habit works best when done within 30 minutes of waking up, and even cloudy days offer enough light to make a difference. You don't need to stare at the sun, just be present in the light. Your body will know what to do, but sunlight is just one piece of the puzzle. Because even with all the testosterone and circulation in the world, your body still needs to be in the right internal state to allow an erection to happen. And, for most men, the real culprit is something silent, sneaky, and deeply rooted in the nervous system. Let's talk about that next. But even with habit 2, rising testosterone and better blood flow, your body won't allow an erection unless one critical system is on your side. Your nervous system. This is the part few people talk about, but it might just be the missing link. You see, your nervous system is like a set of switches. One switch says, I'm under stress, shut everything down. The other says, I feel safe and relaxed, let's open up. Erections only happen when that second switch is flipped. But here's the problem. As men age, especially after 60, we tend to live in a constant low-level state of stress. It might not always feel intense, but it's there. Worries about health, money, relationships, even just the daily noise of life. It all adds up, and over time, it tells your body, now is not the time for sex, now is the time to survive. That message tightens your blood vessels. It increases cortisol. It blocks the very signals your body needs to get and stay hard. This is exactly why one of the simplest and most effective morning habits is something I recommend to every man I work with: deep, slow belly breathing. It might sound too easy to matter, but when done right, it shifts your body out of fight or flight and into rest and arousal. And here's the thing. This only takes 90 seconds when you breathe deeply into your belly. Slow and controlled, you activate the vagus nerve, a powerful line of communication between your brain and body. It tells your heart to slow down, your blood vessels to open, and your mind to let go. I've had patients tell me they feel their chest loosen up, their jaw unclench, and their thoughts quiet. Just from this one habit, do it first thing in the morning. 10 breaths in through the T, slow out through the mouth. It calms your body and invites intimacy, connection, and, yes, erection. It's not about trying harder, it's about relaxing smarter, but calming your nervous system isn't the only hidden key, because even if your mind is ready and your blood is flowing, one tiny group of muscles might still be silently sabotaging your performance. And chances are you've never even been told they exist. Let's fix that next. And habit 3. Here's the part that surprises most men. Your erections are only as strong as the muscles that support them. I'm talking about a hidden group of muscles. Most people have never heard of the pelvic floor. These muscles sit deep at the base of your body, and their job is simple but essential. They control the blood flow in and out of your penis during an erection. Think of them as the body's natural valve system. When they're strong, they hold blood in keeping your erection firm and steady, but when they weaken, which they often do with age and inactivity, blood leaks out faster, and so do your chances of staying hard. I remember a patient, Robert, who came to me at 68. He was frustrated, embarrassed, and ready to give up. He said, "Doc, I can get started, but I can't stay there. I feel it slipping away." And what he didn't know, what no one had told him, is that those symptoms almost always point back to the pelvic floor. The good news is this: these muscles respond quickly to training, and you don't need a gym equipment or even to leave the house. You just need consistency. A few gentle contractions each morning, squeezing the muscles you'd use to stop the flow of urine, can retrain your body to hold an erection. Like it did years ago. I tell my patients to do them while brushing their teeth or waiting for coffee. No one can see it, but you'll feel it over time. This tiny, invisible habit can lead to big changes, harder erections, better control, even stronger orgasms, and for men like Robert, it brought back a kind of confidence he thought was lost for good. But we're not done yet, because while the body's waking up, the mind is calming down and the muscles are getting stronger. There's one more part of the morning that can either boost all your progress or quietly undo it. And it all comes down to what you put on your plate. Let's talk about the kind of breakfast that fuels blood flow, hormones, and lasting energy without ever reaching for a pill. Now that your body bonus habit 4 is primed and your systems are reawakening, it's time to fuel that momentum with a breakfast that supports blood flow and hormones. Not one that silently works against you. Most men don't realize how much their morning meal affects their performance. Not just in terms of energy, but in terms of circulation, testosterone, and 6-year stamina. I can't tell you how many of my older patients start their day with toast sugary cereal or just black coffee. Then wonder why they crash by noon, feel foggy or struggle with poor blood flow down below. The truth is your penis is a vascular organ. It depends on strong responsive blood vessels, and those blood vessels are deeply affected by what you eat. I remember one man, Carl, 72, who told me, "I didn't think food had anything to do with erections, Doc. I thought it was just about desire." But once we adjusted his breakfast to support nitric oxide production and vascular health, his morning routine and his confidence completely changed. What worked for Carl, and for many others, was a simple shift toward foods that increase blood flow. Foods rich in natural nitrates, healthy fats, and key nutrients. Things like eggs for choline and testosterone support beets, and leafy greens for nitric oxide, avocado for vascular flexibility. These aren't just healthy foods, they're targeted tools for restoring function. It's not about becoming a health nut or changing everything overnight. It's about being intentional, choosing a breakfast that works for your body, not against it. When you give your body the right fuel in the morning, you amplify the effects of every other habit we've covered. You support your hormones, you strengthen circulation, you build real momentum, and over time that momentum leads to measurable, powerful changes, not just in how you perform, but in how you feel as a man. But even with all of this sunlight, breath movement and fuel, none of it matters, unless you follow through the key to real transformation. Isn't complexity, it's consistency. And that's why the final step is the most important one. Let me show you exactly how to put all of this into a simple daily routine that becomes second nature, starting tomorrow morning. The real secret isn't how to start today in knowing what to do. It's in turning it into a habit. You don't even have to think about you've come this far, and by now you can probably feel the pieces starting to come together. But knowledge alone won't change your life. What truly matters is what you do consistently, especially in those first few minutes after waking up. That's where the shift happens. That's where you reclaim your rhythm. I've worked with so many men who started strong, felt excited, and then slowly slipped back into old routines. Not because they didn't care, but because they didn't have a system. And let me be honest with you, at this stage in life, simplicity is power. You don't need a complicated checklist, you just need a rhythm your body can trust. So here's what I tell my patients. Make it automatic, attach each habit to something you already do, while the coffee brews get your sunlight before you check your phone. Take your deep breaths while brushing your teeth. Do your pelvic flexes. Then sit down to a breakfast that fuels the rest of your day. Just imagine how your mornings would feel if this became second nature. You wouldn't be chasing pills or waiting for something to kick in. You'd wake up knowing your body is responding because you've given it what it needs to perform, to connect, and to feel alive again. One man I worked with, Don 74, told me something. I'll never forget. He said, "The best part isn't just that I'm getting better erections, it's that I'm getting myself back." And that's the real power of routine. It brings back your sense of control, your dignity, your energy, and your quiet confidence that you're not finished yet, not by a long shot. So the next step is yours. You've got the tools, you've got the map. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final message, something I share with every man who walks into my office, especially the ones who think it's too late, because if you're still breathing, you're still capable. And what I'm about to say might just change how you see the rest of your life, because at the end of conclusion, the day, this isn't just about erections, it's about reclaiming the life you thought was slipping away. You've just learned how powerful a few simple morning choices can be. A few minutes of sunlight to boost testosterone and awaken your biology. A moment of deep breathing to calm your nerves and invite your body into a state of readiness. A few pelvic contractions to reactivate muscles that quietly hold the key to firmer lasting erections. And a breakfast that doesn't just feed you, but fuels your blood flow, your hormones, and your sense of vitality. It may not sound like much when you list it all out, but I've seen firsthand what these small steps can do when practiced every day. I've watched men who had all but given up find themselves again, not just in the bedroom, but in their energy, their posture, their voice, their sense of purpose. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about honouring where you are right now and realising that your best days aren't necessarily behind you. Because when you support the systems that support your masculinity, your hormones, your circulation, your nervous system, you're giving yourself permission to feel whole again. I still remember the look in one patient's eyes after 3 weeks of this simple morning routine. He wasn't boastful. He wasn't even talking about sex. He said, "Doc, I just feel like me again." That's what this is really about. You see, men your age carry wisdom, stories and strength that younger men can't begin to understand. But without energy, without connection, without intimacy, life can start to feel smaller. This routine is a way of opening things back up, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, relationally. It's a way of stepping into the day with strength instead of shrinking back in silence. And if no one else has told you this today, let me be the one to say it. You are not too old, and it is not too late. Tomorrow morning is waiting, and this time, you won't just wake up, you'll rise with purpose. Start small, start today, and watch what happens next. If this message spoke to you, if even one habit made sense or gave you hope, I'd be honoured. If you gave this video a like, it helps more men. Just like you find the information they've quietly been searching for, share it with a friend, a brother, or someone, who could use a boost. And please don't be shy, leave a comment below. I read every one of them, and your words might be exactly what another man needs to hear. If you'd like to support this channel and help me continue making honest, life-changing health content for older men, consider making a small donation. It helps cover production costs and allows me to keep this space free of hype and full of real answers. Thank you for being here, for showing up, and for choosing to take charge of your health one morning at a time.